technique of the analogy is number analogy. Understanding number analogy is a crucial step in solving questions on reasoning ability. The reasoning ability is checked mainly by the questions related to number analogy. The candidates are asked to identify and point out relationship, similarities or differences and dissimilarities in a series or better group of numbers. In the following section, we will try and get acquainted with the concept of analogies. Here we have some table of contents. Let's explain one by one. First, number analogy of the first kind. We shall see how to identify and use this concept to solve some questions. Broadly speaking, the number analogy based questions may be of two types. Type A, find a missing number from a given analogy. Type B, find a set of numbers that are related to the same rule as the one given. If you read newspapers, you will find this section very easy. In these kinds of questions in bank exams, you will be asked to guess the missing number or complete a series from a given series of numbers. The tricks or the time savers here are to look for the common rules. Check for relations like is a factor of, is a multiple of, is a root of, is a square of, or a combination of these rules. Let us again see this with the help of an example. First example, if x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 27, then x is to y, that is y is to dash. Here we have some options. Let's solve the problem. Again, as we have done in the previous examples, we first try to find out the relation between the two given numbers. Here the two numbers are 3 and 27. We see that 3 into 3 into 3 is equal to 27. In other words, 3 cube is equal to 27. Hence, 27 cube is the number that we are looking for. Using the calculator, we see that 27 cube is equal to 19,683. In many bank exams, they will not provide the calculator, so it is your responsibility to learn the squares, cubes, all of them. Number analogy of the second kind. Here we have the question, what number will follow the given series of numbers 3, 6, 11 and so on question mark. Here we have some options. Let us try and find the rule that generates the given numbers. The first term is 3, the second is 6 and the third is 11. Oftentimes the number of the term is very crucial. If we try this term number whole square plus 2, when we have first term is equal to 1 square plus 2 is equal to 3, which is the given first term. Second term of the series is equal to 2 square plus 2 is equal to 6. And the third term is equal to 3 square plus 2 is equal to 11, which is the third term of the given series. Hence, the rule is correct and we can use it to find the missing term. The missing term is equal to 4 square plus 2 is equal to 18. Hence, the answer is 18. Next, memory based questions. Here we have example 11 is to 121, 13 is to question mark. Here we have some options. Let us find the answer. The answer is clearly B, 169, as 112 is equal to 121. Therefore, 132 is equal to 169. But if you haven't memorized the squares of the first few numbers, it will eat into your time. So, the main objective is to cut down on the time, and for that you need to commit certain things to the memory. Here I am providing a list of some numbers and their squares that are commonly encountered. So, important squares here, you can keep them in the mind. They are very important for the exams. Next example, complete the analogy. 141 is to 23, 169 is to question mark. Here we have some options. Let us solve them. I will make it easy. The answer here is C, 25. How did I get it? If you look above to the common squared values of a few numbers, you will see that 144 is the square of 12 and 144 minus 23 is equal to 121, which is the square of 11, or the square of the number one step below 12. Similarly, 169 is the square of 13. You will find a lot of interesting number analogies. Let us try and see an example where you will be asked to guess a pair based on given pair. Pair analogy based questions. Here I have a example. Select the pair that has the same analogy as the given pair. 9876 is to 1223457. It's a very large number, right? Let's discuss the answer. These questions can look very difficult, sometimes even not solvable. This would be true if you haven't read this. If you take a careful look at the given set of numbers, you will find that they are related to a rule. The sum of all digits is 30 in both the numbers. There is no other relation between the two numbers. So start checking the options. You may want to save time and argue that you only need to check the first number of the given pairs. But that would be wrong and dangerous. What if the options followed the rule that the pair should have the same sum of the digits, even if it is difficult than 30? That said, you should ideally check both the numbers. The summary of the topic is follow the following steps to solve the questions based on the number analogy. Step 1. Gather all information from the given pair like relations, sums, squares, etc. And the step 2 is apply the same rules, relations, formulae that have guessed in step 1 to all the options. Here I am providing some practice questions for better understanding and better practice. Just go through it. If you want to save the time in the exam, you have to always practice. Practice is very important for save the time in the exams. So here I am giving some practice questions. Just go through it and practice. You will get a better idea about them. In questions based on analogy, a particular relationship is given and another similar relationship has to be identified from the alternatives provided. Analogy tests are therefore meant to test a candidate's overall knowledge, the power of reasoning and ability to think consciously and accurately. Here we have some common analogy practice questions and some table of contents also here. Let us see them. Analogy practice questions. Let's kinds of relationships, instruments and measurements. Here we have some examples for instrument and measurements. So go through them and learn or keep them in your mind. Next, type 1, completing the analogous pair. In this type of questions, two words are given. These words are related to each other in some way. Another word is also given. The candidate is required to find out the relationship between the first two words and choose the word from the given alternatives, which bears the same relationship to the third word as the first two bear. Here we have some examples. Go through it. For solving these examples, I have some directions. In each of the following questions, there is a certain relationship between two given words on one side of and one word is given on another side of, while another word is to be found from the given alternatives having the same relationship with this word as the words of the given pair bear. Choose the correct alternatives. Here we have some examples. Go through it and also answers also providing in the below the examples. Next, step 2, simple analogy. Here we have some more questions for simple analogy. Just practice yourself, and answers also is there in the end of the questions. Next, type 3, choosing the analogous pairs. I am giving some direction here. Each of the following questions consists of two words that have a certain relationship to each other, followed by 4-lettered pairs of words. Select the lettered pair which has the same relationship as the original pair of words, like sound muffled, chocolate, sugar, like that. Here we have some examples and also answers also provided in the end of the questions. Sometimes we will feel that analogy is very easy, but it's very difficult. So while solving the answers, we have to uh, be very conscious. You will get the answers easily. Thank you so much.